In today's live stream, we are going to talk about technical SEO. What is technical SEO? Things that we need to look at when we doing website audits and a lot more with Benjamin. And if that's for you, let's get into this, boss.
Don't stop.
What's up, everybody? Adrian Diaz here with Hasta la Vista Boss, the place where ambitious people like you and I, we talk about how to create a side hustle, make it profitable, quit our job, become our own bosses. How cool is that? I hope that's a nice goal to have. And I want to welcome Benjamin to Hasta la Vista Boss. How you going, buddy?
Doing good, man. What's up?
I'm really excited to have Benjamin. He's a ninja at Technical SEO. And like we were saying before we went live, I want to always chat with people smarter than myself. Maybe I can learn a few things, especially technical SEO, because there's no many people talk about technical SEO. I mean, you know, see affiliate SEO, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, but there's not many people that talk about technical SEO. And I personally didn't look into this too much, and that would be awesome to learn a few things from you today, Benjamin.
Sounds good.
Before we move on and find out a little bit more about Benjamin, I want to welcome everybody in the chat here. Merchants UK Homebrew, how's it going, boss? Welcome. Mark, hey, how's it going? Helen, how's it going, darling? Nice to see you. Sean, sup, boss man and boss woman. Nice to have you here, guys. If you have questions for Benjamin, drop them in the chat. Alternatively, if you're not shy, you can click that link in the chat as well and ask a question directly if you guys want to. Benjamin, let me come back to you, brother, and let me know who are you and what do you do? How did you get started into this thing? Like, you've been doing this for how many
too
years? Long enough, huh?
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. Super excited to be here. I love the background picture. Hasta la vista, boss. Sounds awesome. Yeah, how I got started. I got started super early. I was 12 years old. I was just browsing YouTube, and I saw these people. They were doing phone reviews and phone case reviews. And in one of the videos, I heard that these guys, these tech reviewers, they're getting tech like phone cases, new smartphones, and everything for free. And to that, well, that blew my mind. So I was 12 years old. My English was complete beep. And I said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, right? So I started making videos. I started reviewing products. I started reviewing everything that I had, tech news, everything like that. And it took off. I got sponsorships from different phone companies here in Slovenia. Got in phones to review, products to review, everything that I was dreaming of. And well, for me, it was just about getting the free products. I had no idea that you can make money from affiliate links back then. So I was just monetizing with AdSense. But yeah, to this day, I think we're just over 10 million views and 22,000 subscribers, still making passive income. So that's all that matters, even though I haven't uploaded a single video since, well, probably like 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of the magic of passive income and why it's so good. But yeah, so at that point, I really wanted to have a website. My YouTube channel was taking off. I wanted to have a place where people can find me, connect with me, learn a bit more about my story. So we went once again on YouTube, started looking at how to create a website, put my own website up, and then just people started approaching me. Okay, I see that you have a website. People weren't really doing websites back then, so they were just approaching me. I started building a few websites, just scaled that. Then also started doing Instagram marketing, Facebook ads, everything like that. I was doing absolutely everything.
Oh, everything.
everything. Because like the biggest problem when you're doing just web design and like for local clients, especially when you build someone a website, they're really looking for leads. They're looking for more buyers, more customers, right? And I didn't know that. It took me some time to realize that, and then I started looking into ads. I got some experience. I got some clients for ads too, but I just didn't click with it. I'm much more of a developer than someone that just runs ads, which is nothing's wrong with that. But I just started looking at different ways to generate traffic, and I kept getting these requests. I have this site on Google. My competitors above me. How can I get pushed up, right? So
$1 million question.
exactly. So I just got into SEO, started learning about it, met some incredible people here from Slovenia that really are amazing with SEO. And when you combine, actually, if you just look at SEO and what it is, people just focus on two things. They focus on content and links. Yes, those two are the absolute key. And without good content or good links, you won't
You
you
do
won't
anything.
exactly. But there's a third part, and it's something that I call technical SEO. And technical SEO, it's just making the website super clean, making the structure of it clean, and making it as attractive to Google as you can. Essentially, want Google to prefer your website over other websites, not because of the links, not because of the content, but because of how clean your website is, because of how fast it runs, because of the fact that it doesn't have errors and anything like that. So yeah, that's how I got started. Now we run a Golden Web, which is essentially just like we do SEO audits for affiliate marketers and small businesses, e-commerce websites. And yeah, if you right now you're just on the site, like one of the biggest turning points was when we applied technical SEO and the site skyrocketed 71%, so from 200 and something thousand to 310,000 in 45 days, which is, if you click on the pets website, you will be able to see that case study. And like links are good, content is great, but the return on investment with technical SEO, in my opinion, well, nothing beats it. And it's just the process of doing it that is insane. Hopefully that wasn't too long.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. Of course, I've been around other people that I had on the channel, like Michael Suski. I've been with other guys like Kyle Roof, so I knew these guys a little bit. But when someone told me about Benjamin, have a look at Benjamin. Then I find out your Facebook group, your podcast. You have some awesome guests in there. So I said, okay, I need to know more about him, especially as well because you do technical. And like I said at the beginning, technical SEO, it's not some. I mean, I haven't seen many people teaching it, or at least talking about it. So um, let me welcome Steven as well. Steven, how's it going, boss? J-Bug, welcome everybody. Let us know if you have questions for Benjamin. So one of the things that I want to know straight away, Benjamin, is like, what is technical SEO? What things you look or you should look at when you build a website in terms of technical SEO?
Right. So, well, technical SEO is not, it's just kind of a mix of everything, a bit of development, a bit of on page. For on page, you just have your basic practices, right? That you have one H1 heading tag on your page. It's, don't even ask me, like people still don't even use them, or just use them for design purposes and can then have 8 H1 tags on their site. You have the basics like alt tags, page speed, which is just the fact that your site will achieve a 90 plus score in Google Page Speed Insights test. Essentially, you want a fast performing website. Google loves to see that. Then you have things like indexation, crawl budget optimization. So if you have, I don't know, if you have 200 pieces of content, of good content that you want to display in Google, but if you take a look at your index and the number of pages that you have indexed in Google, and that number is like 500, well, obviously there's some mess in the index that you don't want there. So it's just a process of cleaning that up, making it more organized and better for the user. And Google will just reward you for doing things like that. So it's just a bit of organization and having a clean website that Google likes.
Um, you mentioned there indexation and crawlability. I remember on the old Google Search Console, we used to have access to that data where they would tell you like how many times they crawling your site and
Yeah, you still do. It's just the old layout, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You can still find it. Yeah.
You can still find it in the new Google Search Console.
It's linked in the new console, but it leads back to the old one.
Oh,
So
right, right,
I'm
right, right,
guessing they're
right. I see
still
what you mean.
working on that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you mean now. Because that data, I mean, like I said, I don't know much, but I was watching some videos on YouTube, and they were telling us that, you know, the more Google is scrolling your site, the better, of course, that is. Um, whereas, if, like you said, if you have I forgot the word now. You said
Well,
your English is bad, but mine is bad.
it's just the like Google has a limited resource for every website, right?
Yeah.
So Google is just like Google's bot is a spider that checks through domains, through sites on the internet, and it dedicates a certain amount of time or resources for every single domain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have 500 pages, but only out of 500 you have 200 that are actual content, well, most likely Google will hit a few pages that are either empty, don't bring value to the user, that are not optimized well. And if Google does not understand those pages, well, it won't understand your website. And it's all about helping Google understand your site. The better Google bot understands your site, your links, your anchor text, everything like that, the better you'll be able to rank and position for your targeted niche.
Right. That's thanks a lot for that. You saved me there, because that's what I was looking for, and I remember that people were saying that about the crawl budget. Is there any way that we can find out how much crawl budget we have for our sites?
Uh, of course, like not how much you have it, but how well your index is optimized, right? So if you can maybe just share your screen, I can
Yeah.
lead you through an example. Maybe
Yeah.
you can just pull up, I don't know, one of your sites or
Yeah.
something that
Let's
you'd like to share.
let's put look. This is one of the websites I was working on. This is the case study, like the one I was telling you before.
Cool.
So
cool.
what can I do here?
So what you can do, if you can just click here, yeah, in the search bar,
Yeah.
and go right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Remove the HTTPS and just type site, and exactly, yeah, just click search. Perfect. So you have 14 pages in here, right?
Mhm.
And if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see that you have, well, at least at the top, there's a very good example. You have blog index, which I'm guessing is just a category.
Yeah.
And
Well.
then you have coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon page also. Well, the blog page is most likely just a collection of your articles on the blog, right? So if you just open up the blog page,
Where is it? The blog page.
this one, yeah. And if you just scroll down here, you have just the articles that you already have on your site duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were actually to run this page through a duplicate scanner check, most likely it will return 100% duplicate content rate. So
Right.
what you want to do with a site like this, you want to either add words, describe the page, what it is about, or you simply want to know index it.
Right.
Now with a site like yours, you'll only be removing one page. So essentially you'll be going from 14 to 13. But when we're working with e-commerce sites, affiliate sites that have 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 pages, and you can cut a 5,000 page site down to 3,000 pages, well, that will essentially like lower the amount of bloat, duplicate content, whatever it might be, by 50% almost, right?
Yeah.
So
Good
it's
point.
just you'll be helping Google and giving it the exact pages that you want to read, that you want Google to understand, and with that you get all sorts of benefits.
That's great point there. Thanks, Benjamin. Let me ask quickly one question from the chat before we move on. Kieran asked, would you use a plugin to improve site speed? If so, which plugin would you recommend?
Of course. So with plugins, it's just it just comes down to the question. So most likely you're on WordPress. For WordPress, I would recommend, if you're a complete beginner, use WP Fastest Cache. It works super well. And if you have a basic WordPress theme and you're not using something like Elementor or Divi, I would just go with WP Fastest Cache. But if you're a bit more advanced and if you're using builders, which I personally do not recommend because they're a bit heavier on the site, I would look into Auto Optimize. Those are for caching. So caching just means kind of preloading all the content so that it opens faster. But then you have actually the most important part of page speed optimization are images. Images are super heavy on the amount of broadband that they use. So using something like Smoosh, image compressors. Smoosh, I believe, is completely free. Download, install, click compress, and it will do its magic. So that's 3 tips for the optimization.
That's awesome there. Do you know what? I have a question. I to be honest with you, I never understood this question, so maybe you can please help me understand it. It's about pagination.
Right.
So first, what the hell is pagination? And second, I know that has to do with blogs or pages or something like that.
Right. Right. So just like we just took a look at your blog right now, right? And on your blog, because you only have 2 articles at the moment in there, you essentially, well, it's only 1 page. And what I'm guessing you're doing is that you're categorizing all your posts under a blog category, or they naturally getting added to this page. Now, there's a limited number of blog posts that get added to a single page. Usually it's about 10. And when you have more than 10 posts, it will create blog/page/2.
Right.
And it's exactly the same as this. But because you have such a low number of pages, you only have 1, right? So it would essentially you'll essentially have even more pages with duplicated content. And the more of these paginations, especially when you have a site that's 2,000, 3,000 pages long or big, and you have all categorized, and these categories started getting pages, it becomes a mess.
Right.
And that's how you get 5,000 index pages, because of all of these empty pagination problems, author pages being indexed, tags being indexed, etc., that you just get a lot of bloat. And as I mentioned, all of these is just considered duplicate content in the eyes of Google, right? Because it's just repeating what you already have somewhere else on your blog post.
So what can I do here? Of course, like you said, I have only 2 blog posts here. As I'm building this website, of course, they'll have more. But what can I do to avoid this? Because I remember one of my, like I was telling you, the Amazon website that I have. I think I've seen the /2/3 the pages, and in the index. I said, well, that's not good.
So I see that you're using RankMath SEO, right?
Yeah.
So you have a setting in RankMath. I'll probably struggle a little bit just because there are so many options. But you have them in general settings.
Yeah.
If you just go into general settings, let me take a look here. Titles and meta.
Titles and meta.
No, the other one. I mixed up the categories.
That's fine.
just too many. And then you have pages. If you just go into the
post pages,
go down. So you up. Sorry, I made another mistake. If you go up and you go into MISC pages,
miscellaneous pages, yeah.
So you have here date archives.
Yeah.
Right. So this is something that you can disable, right? This is something that I always have disabled. And then you already have no index search results, and then you have no index paginated pages.
This one, all right.
Exactly. And I usually always add the no index archive subpages and no index password protected pages. Save changes, and that is the trick.
Boom. Yes. So if you don't have of course, that's why I some people say they don't use plugins like RankMath or Yoast SEO. If I don't have this kind of tools, especially for a guy that like myself, I'm not technical at all. These plugins are awesome because of these things. And
To anyone that's not using RankMath, start using RankMath. That's just what I tell everyone. Basically, the advantages that you have over Yoast, it like the entire plugin is completely free. You don't have to pay for anything, unlike Yoast Premium. The support is amazing. You have built-in schema, everything like that. You're just much more advanced. And
yeah,
if you're getting into SEO and you're probably starting with Yoast SEO, honestly, the next step would be just to switch to RankMath, because to discover all the features, to go through everything, you are going to be pretty savvy with your SEO skills.
that sounds awesome. And take the advantage now that it's free, because I'm sure it's not gonna stay free forever. Like all
Let's
the
hope it does.
tools, there's some they start as free, and then at some point they say, hey, we need to make some money with this. um, Talk to me, please, Benjamin, about site structure.
Mhm.
I mean, this is one of the things that most people will struggle with, especially people in my audience that we are, beginners to intermediate, and we try to build websites to make money as a side hustle until we become our own boss. Um, talk. What is a good site structure in your opinion, or based on your testings or your experience?
Sure, but can you elaborate a bit more on the question? Because right now it's super broad,
Right.
and because it vastly depends on your site, on the size of your site, right? So
Cool.
if you have a site that's an authority site and covers 10 sub niches, it will be totally different than something that only targets one micro niche. But essentially, what you want to do, you want to have inner linking. You want to have a link loop. So essentially, if you're linking to your blog post or your money page on something, you want to link from one page that's relevant with a relevant anchor to it. You want to link to that page, to your money article, and from the money article back again to the original page, so that you have a closed link loop. This is something that Matt Diggity often talks about,
Mm-hmm.
and I highly suggest doing that. Uh, Most importantly, you also need to just make sure that you don't have any orphaned pages. Orphan pages means that you have a page on your domain, on your website, that is not receiving any internal links. And if you want to get ranked in Google, you need to connect the page with the other pages. Otherwise, simply no link juice will be flowing to it.
Right. So, yeah, I think of course you were right that the question was why it's too broad, because basically you have different ways, different types of websites we can build. But like I said, most of us here in the audience, they're just trying out now building some Amazon affiliate sites,
Mhm.
and they probably go as niche as possible, and maybe they talk only about razors. Uh, how to shave and stuff like that,
Right,
and
right.
uh, and
Honestly, I would, if you're only talking about razors and nothing else, I would have a very simple homepage silo.
mhm.
And not really, it's not really called that. That's just what I call it. A homepage silo is essentially that you're linking directly from the homepage to the article without categories in between. What
Without
this will do,
yeah,
without pages in between that are empty, that don't really have value, you just create a massive homepage, and then you create sub articles, which can be reviews, top 10 comparisons, everything like that, and you simply connect them directly from the homepage to the article, and from the article back to the homepage. It's
right.
very simple, and if you have, honestly, if you have like a page that's under 50 pages, that's the way I would go.
And you would say, for example, these pages here, for example, the pages that we're building, should we put this on blog posts or avoid the blog posts and just create pages? So
I would
we
just create pages.
right.
I mean, you can of course select them as posts or pages. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't use the categories in between if you're only covering one topic. If you're
Right.
only covering razors, you'll only be covering razors, and thus it doesn't really make sense to have categories like blogs or something in between, because it will only clutter up the site, and it's something you don't really need.
Sweet, sweet. Um, it's I hope it was helpful for those who want to know how to build, at least for a small site, how to build, because that's how you start anyway. That's how you should start anyway. Start with a small site, learn how it works, how to create a small site, and then you can go and build gear hungry and wire cutters if you want. By the way, I want to ask you something before we go. Probably will be the last thing, because I'm crazy to know how a website is creating a site structure. I just don't understand it. Maybe you can give me some light there. um, Helen says in the chat, what should the URL structure be? Mine is site name / category / article name.
Perfect.
Perfecto.
One very good tip is that especially if you're using an exact match domain, I would never, ever repeat the same word twice. It's just a practice that I've been implementing across all sites. I can't say directly that the results have been from it, but it will for sure give you a very clean URL. The shorter URL, the better. That's what I kind of tend to stick to.
Cool. And of course, if another tip, Helen, if you have like Benjamin was saying, if you have like an exact match domain and you have like best or roof box, because Alex's website, and then you have another roof box after the slash, then when you build links back to your site, you risking over optimizing yourself.
If your domain is best roof box, I would just make the article on the homepage, because it's already an exact match domain. Although I don't really suggest that you go with best roof box in terms of the domain name. Partial match works okay, and it won't really damage the or lower the flip value of the site. Because if you create a site bestroofbox.com, well, you probably won't flip it for a very good margin.
I know there's a case study. A friend of ours, WP Eagle, he built this website bestroofbox.com, and he's making over $1,000 per month now with it, and he's looking to sell it. So I'm curious to see how much money he can get out of it. Fingers crossed. Nice money. Here's another question I have for you, Benjamin. Let me ask you, like we were talking before before going live, what are some of the top 5 things that you look at when you do, not only when you do your website audits for your clients and all that, but when you build a site? Like, what top 5 things you look at in order to make sure you have a good website in terms of...
Right. So the 5 things that I'm about to share, I suggest that we do a little pause in between of them, and you can just ask the questions so that we can elaborate, because like 5 points, each one will be a bit more technical, and what these will help you do. They're the 5 most common mistakes that website owners make, and just with the simple fix, you can generate some very good returns just based on the time investment. The first one is click-through rate optimization. This is more of on-page than technical, but with let's say that you're targeting a keyword, best roof box, for example. You have your page title, your meta title, and make sure that you position your target keyword as much to the left as possible, so to the exact beginning of the meta title. By doing that, and just if you are not already doing that, just changing it and requesting to re-index inside of Search Console, I can guarantee you that it will jump a few positions. So that's a very good trick right there.
So the first thing would be keyword to the left as possible.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
So if you're targeting something like best roof box, just place it all the way to the left. To add to the first tip, because it's just a click-through rate optimization, I would really suggest that you include brackets and also years. to the actual title. There's a very good case study by Brian Dean. He analyzed a bunch of different websites, and he came to the conclusions that when you have brackets and years in the actual meta title, people just tend to click on it, because if you have best roof box reviews, and then you have best roof box reviews updated 2020, well, which one are you going to click on? Of course, you're going to click on the second one, right? Because it's more relevant to the year and everything like that.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Yeah, I it's been a long time I haven't read anything from branding, but I know since I've started like almost 3 years ago, it's, the keyword to the left, and I've seen some testings as well.
It's super basic, but
yeah,
it works. So
yeah,
that's all that matters.
Definitely.
Next one would just be crawl budget optimization. We covered it earlier already,
Yeah.
and we covered it for paginated pages. Take a look at RankMath, just kind of browse through it, and if you're not using categories, the index categories, the index tags, the index like different documents, just go through, do the site search of your website and just search, especially if you have a bigger site. Make sure that nothing is in the index that you don't want there. So if you have like manuals that you want private, or PDF documents that you want private, and they're indexed, well, you need to change some settings around. Just make sure that you have the index as clean as possible, and that none of it is getting duplicated.
Sweet.
And what you can also do to find the exact pages that are indexed, you can go into your Search Console, you can go under Coverage, and then you can go under Indexed but not included in Sitemap. That tab will usually give you a lot of detail, especially if you have a bigger site, on pages that might be kind of bothering Google because they're not included in your sitemap. Therefore, they're not really content. So anything that will be causing you problems will be in there.
Sweet. Number 3.
Any questions so far?
Not really. I mean, there's a question come to mind, Benjamin. Some of these legal pages, for example, privacy policy, terms and services. Would you leave those in the index?
For affiliate sites, for my affiliate sites, I de-index privacy policy, terms of service. I de-index disclaimer for Amazon or any other programs, just because well, it's an affiliate site. But then again, if you're a large brand, if you're like a corporate business or whatever it might be, I would personally leave them indexed, just for the so that if anyone actually does searches for them,
Right.
search for them, they can find them.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Like about pages, contact pages. If someone is looking for Benjamin contact page, then you will want that to be in the index so they can find a way to contact you, right?
Contact pages and about pages you want to have indexed. Even if you're an affiliate page, I highly suggest that you have those indexed.
Sweet. Kieran says here in the chat that he's just writing an article with that method in the title, talking about the point number
Perfect.
1.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let us know how it goes, Kieran.
Up next, if you just open up your site, if you go into siteliner.com.
Hang on a sec. Siteliner.com.
Mm-hmm. And what we'll do now, we'll just run a quick duplicate content check on your website.
Let's see what's going on. Go.
Maybe just share the screen so we can see.
You can't see the screen?
We can see the drawing board.
Oh, my apologies. Let me share the screen now. Okay. How about now?
Perfect. Cool. Yes. So the report is ready. We entered the site, and if you scroll down, you can see duplicate content, and it says 31%, which is not ideal. And if you can click on duplicate content now, it will essentially just what I mentioned earlier. It will show you that you have a lot of pages that have a very high duplicate content, which you can see in the match percentage. anything that's over 40%, I would either add words to it or I would no index it.
Right. Right.
So
Or
that,
just
that
change the words maybe.
yeah, just so that it's not completely. But most of the time, duplicate content is just because you have pages that are like paginated pages, everything like that, and well, you don't really have much words on there, right? Because it's empty. So that's why it views as duplicate.
Here's an interesting question for you. Now this particular website that we're looking at is a lead generation website, and of course, as you probably know, we are building pages just like in any local SEO type of website, where you'll have most of these pages. They are just duplicate page of the other one, where we just change maybe the geo, right?
Can you maybe zoom in a little bit? I'm
Let me
having a
see.
bit of trouble seeing. Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah. This is a big problem, and it happens often. So you want to make every single page unique. You don't want to just change the city, because well, you won't be ranking, because especially if you're running English, if you're ranking in English, this will cause some serious problems for you.
all right, that's awesome. So here you would definitely, I mean, like you said, you would just add more words or try to make them
I would
somehow.
make it unique.
Yeah,
I would make it
exactly.
unique. You can even use a rewriter or something to make
Yeah,
it unique. Chances are the content won't be any good, so you might as well just pay for another article and make it unique. So that's what I would do.
sweet. So you would say everything that's above 40, you would be fine with that?
Everything that's below 40 is okay. Everything that's above 40 is a problem.
Cool, coolio. Um, Kieran has a question here in the chat. He says, although you say de-index categories, would you de-index product categories on the e-commerce side?
No, because with e-commerce
You
you
want
essentially
those?
rank with the product categories for just general items. So if you're searching for I don't know, hair dryers, most of the time e-commerce pages will rank with the category pages, with the product category pages.
Sweet. If you have any follow-up question, let us know, Kieran. Um, so, is this? Should we go to the next point or?
Sure. Are you an Ahrefs user?
Yes. Do you want me to drop my
Perfect.
site or something in Href?
If you have Ahrefs, then I would definitely just take a look, maybe at like one of other sites too, just depending on how many links you have, because this tip mainly applies to bigger sites and more established. But yeah, let's take a look.
Well, this one, like you said, it's a very small site, so you won't be able to see anything in it. Let me just quickly see. Who knows? But it's brand new, the site, so I don't
Yeah,
think.
then it likely won't have much. But yeah, just
Yeah,
drop the URL, and
for sure.
otherwise we can take a look at something more established.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
No,
enter
one
something
backlink. Let's enter maybe a big site.
Sure.
I love this site. I have a question
Yeah,
about this.
I see you mentioned it multiple times now.
I love it. It's just it's a dream website.
So if you go to the left, you have broken under backlinks.
Right.
And what you can do here is you can just keep track of your broken backlinks, right? And in this case, they have 565 broken backlinks. And what a broken backlink means is that you have links pointing to your page from other websites, so essentially backlinks, that you're not capturing their power. Because they're linking out to pages that are 404s, you will not be capturing the link power. And if you want to capture the link power, you simply take the target URL, so your page, the 404 page, and create a 301 redirect to a relevant page. So either it can be a new image, an updated image, an updated page, or if you can't find a fit, just redirect it to a homepage. That's what I personally do, and it's a very good way to recapture some broken backlinks.
Nice.
Then the second part, if you go under outgoing domains and you go into the link domains,
We go to.
down under pages, have
Uh,
outgoing
let
link
me see.
domains. Down a little bit, you're over there. Down. Outgoing links.
Outgoing links. Hang on a sec. I can't see it.
Down.
Oh yeah.
Here,
Sorry.
link domains. Perfect.
And we go to broken links as well.
Linked domains.
Link domains.
And in here, this will be all your, okay, so this site is perfect. So here you can see, well, the site is not linking out with do follow links to external sources. But in your cases, and in cases of most affiliate sites, you will have do follow links going to pages like Amazon, like YouTube, like Facebook, Instagram, everything like that. And with RankMath, what you can do when you're linking out to Amazon with your affiliate links, you can simply change the link from do follow to no follow, because otherwise you'll be sending your domain power over to Amazon. And if you're trying to rank for the same term, and well, one site you're sending links over to Amazon, guess who's gonna rank?
Amazon says thank you.
Amazon's gonna outrank you, of course. So that's a very good tip that might help you out.
Interesting stuff. Let me address a question that I didn't see earlier, Benjamin, if you don't mind. It's from Jay. He said, is there any theme you recommend?
GeneratePress.
GeneratePress.
GeneratePress, it looks like complete garbage, but it's incredibly fast.
Sweet.
And if you have a new site that you're just trying to scale or test, GeneratePress it costs like $40 or something. And it's fantastic. You can just simply use a WordPress editor, WordPress Gutenberg with it, and it runs incredibly well. So highly recommend.
Awesome stuff. What other thing you would look at, Benjamin?
The fifth and final thing, I would just say utilize Search Console. Google Search Console, I mean, they're pushing out updates every single month. Basically, every single month you can see a new feature coming out. Either that's Core Web Vitals that just got released, which is just essentially page speed, or something else. I really urge you to go to your Search Console like at least once a week. Not just analytics, but use the Search Console. Go to coverage, go to every single tab that you can find, and just look for errors. The Google Search Console is one of the best tools out there, since it's made directly by Google, to show you the errors that are bothering Google. And just by identifying them and fixing them, usually they're super easy to fix. You can just Google how to fix this and that, and you'll get a tutorial. Most common 404s, schema errors, and also one thing that you can do, which is a bit more advanced, is just disavowing links. So if you're a bit bigger, if your site is a bit bigger, and you are getting links from like .tk, .cn, these weird sites that are low domain authority and not really relevant, I'd highly suggest just disavowing them from Search Console. And what that essentially means, you'll just block Google from seeing those sites pointed to you, because they can damage your rankings potentially.
Sweet. Let me ask you this question: in which team you are? You are in the team that says be proactive and de-index or disavow links on a regular base, or you are on the other team that says, oh, don't worry about it until you see something going wrong with the site, like losing some traffic and stuff like that.
By the time that you're losing your traffic, it's already too late. So if you're not in the team to be regularly checking and disavowing negative links or links that are not relevant or are perceived as low value in your eyes, you have to be the judge of that. If you're not doing that, well, honestly, I would just say that you don't really care about your site too much. It doesn't take too much time, and it can really save you some big trouble down the line. So highly recommend it.
Cool stuff. You mentioned Schema, and I have a question from our friend Ahmed. He asked this question on Facebook, on WP Ego Facebook group. Thank you. He says, for best X for Y articles, how can you create how you can make product list schema.
You don't need to. I'm guessing he's trying to win featured snippets with just by asking that question. And personally, I don't utilize that on my sites, and neither do like all the affiliates that I've talked to. What you can do is just optimize the headings, make sure that you're utilizing H2s, H3s, H4s, H5s, H6 even, and not just using H3s and not just using H2s. Just diversify across all the headings. Google will just view your content as a bit more researched and well structured. So that's the tip that I would really focus on. But regarding the schema, you should look into FAQ schema and product review schema. Those are the two that I would really recommend looking into, especially FAQ schema, because most of the time when you apply it, the click-through rate just doubles. So
Sweet.
a big difference.
Yeah, and Ahmed, if you want, I answered him on Facebook. If you want to send me a screenshot on and I might give you a hand with that. I'm using item list type to create those like top 10, and I have all these products in there with the images, and it's really cool. Here's a question from Sean. Again on Facebook, he asked this. He says, I have a blog with over 200 articles that were unfortunately permalinked using very long foldered sections like site.com category, subcategory, subcategory, and then the article title. I learned later that URLs, the shorter they are, the better. Is it worth changing entire site URL structure this far down the line, or just continue with the original?
Just comes down to the question of traffic. How much traffic, how much money is the site making? Are you like,
he
if
says
it's not...
he says here, Benjamin, he says the site has over 100,000 traffic per month and a lot of backlinks.
I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Down the line, at this point, it just presents a high risk. Everything can go well, and most of the times it does. But if like the only difference that will make is just the aesthetics, and personally, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, just my opinion.
Cool stuff. So we are almost heading to 1 hour on this hangout. I love it. Of course, I always love these hangouts with smart guys. And I know that Benjamin, he needs to go like very fast after this. If you guys have any questions, drop them now in the chat box. I have one question that I definitely want to learn how to do this. And then we leave Benjamin to enjoy his Saturday going down the pub or whatever. So here's something that I want to share with you. Let me share my screen quickly. And I want to find out how the hell these guys are able to create this. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Let me just zoom in.
So we are again with Gear Hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to find out how the hell can you do this. So everything is one crawl depth 1. So they have everything on the homepage, and then they have all the other pages one click away.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier when you were when you were asking me about site structure. This is essentially what they call the homepage silo. They are linking from the homepage
to everything,
to just the like the pages that they have. If you can just open up their homepage, let me see how it looks like. And if you go down, just if you just scroll to the page, hiking. Yeah, they're just linking directly to the actual articles. So that's how they're doing it.
Oh, and so is that simple?
You can do that. You can do that.
Sweet. And another question I have now, it came to mind now. So let's say you go to this is a category page like we were talking about earlier on my website about the pagination. So would you say like this infinite scroll, it's better than have the pagination thing?
Yes, definitely,
Cool.
because it won't duplicate.
Right. You won't create more pages basically.
Exactly.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sean says here, thanks. Also feel the same. Nice to confirm it about the changing the URL structure and all
Right.
that.
All good. All good.
And I think I've went through all my questions. Oh, what tools do you use, Benjamin, to do your site audits for your clients, basically?
Ahrefs, SEMrush, Screaming Frog, Sidebulb, Siteliner, Copyscape, and just manual checkup.
Manual checkup. All right.
That's the golden nugget, the manual checkup.
It's
The
always
tools are good.
Yeah.
Are good. They're great. But when you just take some time, look into the page, there you can just find one tiny thing, and it's usually just something like flipping a switch, and that is what usually generates the 71% growth. Things like that we achieved on the client's affiliate site.
That's do you pay for the how do you call it, Screaming Frog? Do you feel like you need to pay for that tool? Or
Well, I believe it's up to 500 free,
yeah.
but yeah, we have a paid subscription. Yeah.
So hang on a sec. Helen says I have to watch again, a bit technical, so need to go through it again using the pause button. Don't worry, Helen.
Feel free to drop me a message on Facebook.
Yeah.
Also, more than happy to answer questions there if something was a bit too difficult to understand. I know that I get quite passionate about this, and I might start rambling a bit too fast. So more than happy to explain it further.
Shan is asking, how much do your services cost typically? Do you have
So we have 3 different pricing packages. It just depends on the number of pages. We have also a very certain criteria that we work for, so it's definitely not for everyone. We work primarily with sites that are at least DR25 plus in Ahrefs, and that are already established, have a solid backlink profile. But yeah, more about that, feel free to jump on the site, book a little call, and we can give you the exact pricing on that and the exact package that you need.
There you have it, folks. And if you want, guys, Benjamin, he didn't mention on at the beginning, but you did. I can't remember. Sorry, but he has a podcast called Ranked, affiliate SEO podcast, and where he has loads of guests making loads of money online. Successful guys that you if you go to the gym, or if you drive, you can put in your how it goes. You can put in your years and learn some stuff. Adrian, can you post Benjamin's site in here, please? Definitely. goldenweb.net. I'll put it in the chat quickly for you, Helen. There you go, darling.
Feel free to maybe just I don't know if your listeners prefer email or Facebook, but I'm available on both. So one is Benjamin Golden, and the email is benjamin@goldenweb.net. Just whichever you prefer, or if you just have a question, always happy to help discuss with affiliates. It's fun, so feel free to reach out.
That's awesome stuff there. So I think we're gonna wrap it up now. This was a lot of fun. I'm happy that I got one little thing sorted for me, so I'm very happy. Thanks, Benjamin. I'll see you on Facebook 100% because I know you're active. I'm active as well on Facebook, although I should be less active so I can work on my stuff. But it's fun. It's fun to connect with people.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thanks so much for having me on.
It was a pleasure, my brother. Thanks everybody for being here in the chat. Like Benjamin said, if you have questions, you can reach out to me. I can reach out to him or go in straight to him, Benjamin Golden. And he has a Facebook group, a Facebook page. He's all over the place, like a good SEO should be. And remember, everybody, give us a thumbs up if you like this. If you think it was useful. Thumbs down, doesn't matter, is helpful anyway. Leave us
They won't give us a thumbs down.
No, never. We love you guys. You know that. And remember, stay focused, because we ain't going to get rid of that boss, all right? Thanks for watching, and see you on the next live stream.